show that it is. Oops, okay. Say when, man. Good. Okay, we'll let the record show that it is 3:04. And I'll call to order the regular quarterly meeting of the Durant Community Facilities Authority of September 1, 2020. And we'll ask the secretary to call the roll, please.
Okay. Trustee Baxter. Here. Trustee Dillard.
Here.
Trustee Gosnell is absent. Trustee Grover.
Here.
Trustee Morris.
Here.
Trustee Pierce is absent. Trustee Tuttle.
Here.
Vice Chairman Webb is absent. Chairman Tomlinson.
Here. Okay, for the record, we do have a quorum. Appreciate everyone making it either by video conferencing or here in person. Appreciate that. Appreciate those in the audience. First order of business. Consider approval of our minutes of our meeting of June the 2nd, 2020. And if you've had an opportunity to look at those, are there any corrections, additions, or deletions? And if not, entertain a motion to approve as presented. We have a motion by Trustee Baxter
Second.
and a second. And who was that? Was that you?
Kelly.
Ms. Dillard?
Ms. Dillard. Mhm.
Any further discussion, questions? Hearing none, Secretary, record the vote, please.
Trustee Baxter. Trustee Dillard.
Aye.
Trustee Grover.
Aye.
Trustee Morris.
Aye.
Trustee Tuttle.
Abstain, I wasn't present.
Chairman Tomlinson.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 2 is to consider approval of claims. Ms. Sanchin, no claims, okay. It's kind of good to not have any bills. So we'll move to item number 3 under information items. And that's our financial report from June the 30th of 2020 to July the 31st of 2020, and Ms. Ann Chenelai, our city treasurer.
You should have 2 sets of the report. One is the thinner one. This is for the, no, this one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, only a few pages. This is for the June 30th, 2020. Sorry, 2020. And the first page is your kind of like cash in your account, the gross revenue account. So you will see the balance is 2.2 million, 84,870.
Oh, there it is.
Do you have any question about this?
Any questions for Ms. Sanchin? Okay,
And the second page is your kind of like revenue expense account. This is for the June 30th.
I have a quick question. I noticed there's a pretty substantial accumulation in the positive of the money in our account. Can you kind of tell me what causes that? I mean, I know it's a good thing, but why are we accumulating money at a pretty good rate? 1.8 million to 2.2. Do we just, is that just how it is, or?
are you back on page 1?
Yes. What are we doing to make that account grow, or are we doing anything? Is it just a consequence of rates and stuff like that?
It's a consequence of the sales tax increase. I mean, we've been looking at average double-digit increases in sales tax every month, so.
If I'm not mistaken too, in there, so much of a reserve that we have to keep too, that is a part of this figure. And you can go back to the 2018, 2019 even and see that it's, $1.5 million, our first number. But if
Don't get me
I'm-
wrong, I'm happy. I'm just kind of want to get a picture on how things are working.
And if it's safe to say this, that's part of why we've been able to, over the last few recent years, help fund some of the expenses, particularly this year, being able to help fund the senior center. It cost, so. Which, like you said, Mike, that's a good thing.
And this is for our July 2020, same, the checking accounts amount and the expense. You can tell that the first page of this checking account, the deposit, you can see the slightly increase each month. That just like the city manager said that our sales tax increased. So that's why it increased. I also attached our sales tax report for 7 years, so you can see the trend.
We're blessed to have sales tax increases compared to maybe some other areas of the state and the country, but we've been blessed with sales tax and growth. And this is a very good report. Are we, for the current fiscal year, over last year, we already at about 8%? John, is that what I'm reading there? Growth, or not growth, but increase over
Yes.
last year at this time? I think we did a conservative projection of 2%, is that right?
It's more than that. Yeah, more than that.
I'm
More
sorry?
than 3%.
Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Ann Chen? And do you have any more? Thank you. Thank you. Our financial report does not require any action. So we'll move to item number 4. We're privileged to have Shane Knight again with us. And Shane, you're going to go over our Ron Cross Senior Activity Center project update. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
I do not have a presentation for you today, but what I will do is give you an update on where we are at the project.
And Shane, excuse me, can these guys hear you okay? And there's Mr. Pierce. Chris.
Yeah, we can hear fine.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shane.
Just a quick update. So we did finish the construction drawings for all the renovations at the Ron Cross Activity Center. That project advertised publicly last week, August 27th, I believe. Yes, August 27th. We will open bids on that project September 22nd. So here in just a few weeks. We'll open those in this room at 2 o'clock on the 22nd. We have a pre-bid meeting for any contractors that are interested in physically walking through the building with us with their plans, scheduled for September the 8th. So that is next week. That is at 10 a.m. at the Senior Center. So you're welcome to come walk through that with us if you'd like. But that'll be a meeting where any interested contractors can actually lay their eyes on what is in the building so they understand what all of our notes pertain to when it comes to the renovation work that's going to go on in there. We did end up with a full new commercial kitchen. We have advertised all of the equipment, including walk-in freezers or walk-in coolers, excuse me, and all of the kitchen equipment as new. I did just get some, matter of fact, yesterday, I got some numbers back on that equipment. And so far, it looks as though that may come in budget. And that's including the new walk-in cooler freezer, which we originally did not plan for when we came to your board several months ago starting this project. So that's good news. We'll hope the rest of the numbers start coming in that way as well, but we'll know for sure on the 22nd when we get some bids in. Any questions?
Any questions for Shane?
It says for Shane or John, do we have an ETA on when we expect to be able to have senior citizens in as guests, be able to?
We put 5 months as the timeline. I don't think it will take that long on the construction side. In terms of the physical work, what we are seeing is long lead times on equipment and materials. So normally what I would have said would have been a 3 to 4 month project. I put a 5 month timeline on with the hopes that we could get that finished before the end of the year, but I didn't want to charge any penalties to a contractor if they couldn't make that timeline, considering the nature of the environment we're in right now with getting materials on hand.
So would that be maybe February, March?
I think
Hopefully.
realistically, we should be able to accept people at the first of the year. Yeah, but we would hope to try to get the construction done end of the year, 1st of January. But actually bringing people into the facility, yes, I'd say February is probably a safe time to look at that.
Any other questions for Shane? Looks like we're moving. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have one question for Shane, if I may. Shane, are there any additional provisions for like coronavirus or anything like as far as like additional safety measures in the new facility?
Well, we do have, and this actually came from John and Becca just a couple of weeks ago. We're looking at putting in some kind of safety barrier glass barricades for the reception area and that sort of thing, so that whoever is kind of manning that entry has some safety there. Another thing that I'm actually in the middle of reading an article on air conditioning systems in this new environment. And long story short, what used to be considered an upgrade with filtration and UV lights and that sort of thing in your air conditioning systems is probably going to end up becoming more commonplace and required here in the near future with the next round of code updates and that sort of thing. So that is something that has been kind of going around in the back of my head that, depending on how the numbers do come out with our bid on the 22nd, it might be something we want to take a look at maybe come back to this board and talk about upgrading some of the existing air conditioning filtration that's in there. The units that are in the building are in excellent shape. They're actually not very old, but when it comes to filtration, UV lights, that sort of thing that kill that bacteria, none of that's in there currently.
I think you're maybe saying it, but you just mentioned that the equipment is in really good condition. So an upgrade
Yes.
or addition or adding to with filtration and UV.
You could upgrade the systems that are there without having to replace them.
Good.
And those upgrades would be actual filters, just like our traditional pleated filters that we know and that we all are familiar with. So there's some upgrades in those filters that can happen. And then the addition of UV light filters can go into any of those units. And those are a pretty reasonable cost to have installed, kind of aftermarket. And that would be an excellent upgrade to what's there.
Might be premature to even ask, but and we've heard about the UV lights, whatever.
Mhm.
Help me understand, like, so if we did that, where does that go?
It goes in the return plenum, which is in the air handling unit that's typically, like for this particular building, all the air handling units are in the attic spaces. So on the return side of those units, there's an add-on that goes into that return side that is a UV light. So anything passing through that unit, coming back into the unit from the return side, goes through that UV light and kills anything living. And then goes into your air handling unit and disperses the conditioned air back into the building. So it's on that return side. We've installed countless numbers of them on other systems all over the place. So it's really it's a good add-on. So, and we do have some money in the budget for HVAC modifications and a new air conditioning system to serve the commercial kitchen portion. So, if our bids come in right in a few weeks, we may have the money to, put that in as an add change order. But that'll just yet to be seen.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shane.
Sure. Thank you, Chris.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Good news. Glad to hear it's moving along.
All right.
Thank you, Shane. John, did you want to?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we would like to have a special meeting, just so everybody knows after the bids come in, so we can get those awarded and we can move without having to wait on the next meeting.
Everyone hear that? City manager is recommending a special meeting of the DCFA. And Shane, help me out again. September what? 22nd. So it'd be
So it'll be
shortly after that.
shortly after that. Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mike, watch your calendars or check your calendars, and that'd be great.
I think that date is midweek. That's a Tuesday or a Wednesday that week.
Okay. Okay, that takes us to item number 5 under the Arena Convocation Center. And we'll get an update from Mr. Keith Baxter. Boy, he's got a long title here. Director of Intercollegiate Athletics of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Keith, good job, sir. Keith, and you might come up here because she won't be able to pick it up on the over there probably.
We resumed walking for the people who like to come and walk into the arena on August 1st of this year. So they are adhering to our policies on campus that they must wear masks and practice social distancing. But that's been going on since the 1st of August. Then school started on August 17th. Our men's basketball, women's basketball are participating in normal activities, even though our conference has suspended all athletic activities through December 31st. But we are in our non-championship segments of those seasons for men's and women's basketball. So they're participating in the arena. We normally have the Bryan County Teachers Meeting. It's normally held this coming Friday. They have decided to do it virtually, I believe. And so we're not hosting that this year. And then Saw You at the Pole is another event that we have at the end of September. And I'm not sure if they're relocating it, that event, or suspending it, but we will not be having it in there this September. Hopefully the plan is to move through the fall and as normal as we possibly can, and then move into basketball season with the start of the second semester. And I believe the university will be making an announcement concerning commencement, which is normally held in December, whether we're going to have it or not have it by the middle of this month. So somewhere around the 15th of September, there'll be a decision made on commencement at Southeastern in the arena.
And like to have a commencement, or?
Yeah, I think either to have a commencement, have a modified commencement, or what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
I know some of the other universities in the state have already either came out with a virtual or some kind of an alternate type of commencement, or even canceled their commencements for the winter months or for the fall semester. And I think that's being discussed at the university right now, and the decisions should become forthcoming shortly.
Any other comments, Keith, or any questions for Keith? Anybody? Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
John, you still out there?
Yes, sir.
You want to make an introduction for us, please?
Sure, I will. Mr. Coder left us early or late last year, early this year. I can't remember exactly when he left. And Marty Pope left us just recently. And so we conducted a search. And I'll tell you, the city of Durant does not have a problem attracting quality candidates from around the country. That is awesome for the city to be able to attract people. We did our search, and the young man that we selected, it comes to us from North Carolina. It's Caleb Gwaltney. He's our new Parks and Recreation manager. So we're excited to have him here. So
Welcome, Caleb. And that takes us to item number 6, an activity update on the sports complex. And Caleb Gwaltney, is that
Yep.
right? Gwaltney?
Yes, sir. Caleb
Our
Walton.
Parks Department Superintendent. Welcome, Caleb.
So as John said, I came in, I started work last Monday. So as far as that update, I don't have a whole lot of update right now. I guess kind of what we're looking to do is make some improvements to the park, put in some lighting over the complex, and just kind of change the way we go about the parks, the way we're organizing, the way we're running them, make some changes. So just kind of implementing those, really getting used to being in Durant, kind of used to the complex. You guys have any questions?
Caleb, I just would make a comment that, Parks Department Superintendent means more than the sports complex, but this authority is, their focus is, truly the multi-sports complex and the Southeastern Arena. But I just want to let you know that this authority stands ready to work shoulder to shoulder and side by side and assist in any way that this authority has the authority to do. And we recognize that we have a facility that's really not second to any in the state even, and but we've not realized our full potential, and our challenge would be to you to help us recognize that full potential. And again, we stand ready to be of whatever service and assistance and help that we can. Anybody else want to say anything?
Welcome, Caleb. We're glad you're here.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. So like I said, we kind of discussed those changes as well and reaching that potential. And that's something I really look forward to doing and look forward to taking on with you all. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Welcome aboard. Okay, do we have anything under new business? Hearing none, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion.
I second.
We have a motion, we have a second. And the secretary will record the vote, please.
Trustee Baxter. Trustee Dillard.
Aye.
Trustee Grover.
Aye.
Trustee Morris.
Aye.
Trustee Pierce.
Aye.
Trustee Tuttle.
Aye.
Chairman Tomlinson.
Aye, we are adjourned. Quick reminder, kind of check your calendar and keep maybe the week or so after the 22nd of September, maybe kind of open on your calendar for a special meeting.